Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and tomorrow is the Nicolas Cage public test build, and I'll be testing him out and showing off what he can do, what our national treasure can do in Dead by Daylight, live on Twitch if you want to come out and hang out and check that out with us. So today Dead by Daylight tweeted out their developer update for July. So the tweet says the update train is on the way. Let's see what's on board. Survivor disconnect bots, report feedback, Onryo balance update, perk changes, killer tweaks, and more. Read it here. When you click that, it takes you to the official Dead by Daylight forums. Now, these changes are going to be instituted when Nicolas Cage comes out, which is going to be in about 3 weeks. So let's go ahead and read what these changes entail here. So, developer update written by Peanuts today. Here we go. July 2023 developer update. Let's get into it. Summer is upon us, and the entity's realm is heating up between an extra special guest making his long-awaited debut and the return of a classic summertime event. So, Nicolas Cage and the summer barbecue event, which is going to be in August. Can't wait to see those margarita slushy machine generators again, perhaps, and the barbecue hooks to barbecue our buns. Our next update is already packed with content, but we're just getting started. We have loads of exciting features and balance changes in store for you, and we're going to dive into each of them today. I wonder if all this will be in the PTB tomorrow. Let's see. Survivor disconnect bots. Nobody likes being left hanging, especially when you're literally left hanging on a hook. Disconnections are sometimes unavoidable, and while disconnection penalties can help discourage people from leaving a match, they don't soften the blow when you're abandoned early on. Our studies, unsurprisingly, have found that your odds of escaping drop significantly when you remove even one survivor from the trial. Who would have guessed? That's where Dwightbot and his many friends come in. Going forward, any survivor who disconnects will be replaced with an AI substitute. When this happens, everyone in the match will be notified that a bot has taken over. This does not change anything on the disconnecting player's side. They will still receive a disconnection penalty and forfeit any blood points they've accumulated thus far. We've been working hard towards improving our Survivor bot AI ever since their introduction to custom games late last year, and while bots cannot truly replace the experience of playing with real people, they are more than capable of stepping in when needed to help repair generators, save their fellow survivors, and keep the killer busy. We will continue to improve the Survivor bot AI over time, as we have done in recent updates. Nice. Successful report feedback. When you come across player behaviors in a trial that don't comply with our in-game rules, we highly encourage that you report them. That said, we recognize that never hearing back from us on what was done with your reports doesn't exactly encourage the practice. This is why the team has designed a successful report feature. In the next update, you'll notice a window appear when logging in if one or more of your reports has led to a ban. The message will show you the date of the player ban and the reason for banning. Note that if a player gets banned and unbanned multiple times, you as the reporter will only get notified once per report you sent. And it has an example here. Report feedback. Thank you for your help. The following reports have been processed and appropriate actions have been taken. Reason: exploits, date of action, unsportsmanlike conduct. Harassment. Cool. All right. These feedback messages will apply to both temporary for things like harassment as well as for permanent bans for cheating. We're constantly improving our anti-cheat and security measures to prevent cheaters from playing to begin with, but we want to reassure you that cheaters are dealt with seriously whenever they manage to slip through. We're hoping that this feature will make reporting problematic in-game behaviors feel more purposeful and worthwhile. While we're very grateful to all of you out there who are investing your personal time and effort towards keeping our game safe and fun, and thank you for your help. Remember, camping and tunneling are not reportable offenses, everybody. Okay, here we go. The Onryo. Oh, wow. This is very interesting. A little over a year ago, Sadako crawled out of a TV and into our hearts and into the entity's realm for the first time. It's been interesting to see different playstyles emerge since then, and today we have some changes in store to make the Onryo more terrifying than ever. Projection. When the Onryo is demanifested, she can project herself to any powered TV around the map. This would inflict nearby survivors with a stack of condemned. In the process, we have made significant changes to this mechanic. Projecting to a TV now applies 3/4 of a stack of condemned to all survivors not carrying a cursed tape. It was 1 stack to nearby survivors. So everybody in the trial? Holy, is that right? It's not nearby, it's just all survivors. Holy cow. The time a TV is disabled after the Onryo projects to it has been reduced to 70 seconds instead of 100 seconds. This can be further reduced using add-ons. The time a TV is disabled after a survivor removes the cursed tape has been increased to 90 seconds from 60 seconds. So this is going to encourage everybody to go get your tape. Everybody get out to Blockbuster and rent you a VHS tape right now. Projection now has a 15-second cooldown. Okay. Since there is no longer a range limit on the condemned effect, okay, so it is map-wide, we need to limit how frequently this can happen. That makes sense. Combined, these changes make it much easier to spread condemned while using your power in a way that feels natural. Cursed tapes. Cursed tapes have become more dangerous as well. Though holding a cursed tape may protect you from condemned when the Onryo teleports, they come with their own risks. Getting hit with a basic attack while carrying a cursed tape will apply 1 stack of condemned. So you're going to be damned if you do, damned if you don't, basically. When a survivor carrying a cursed tape is hooked, all other survivors gain 1 stack of condemned and the tape is destroyed. Oh my. Holding a cursed tape no longer passively builds condemned. Okay, so you don't get condemned if you're holding the tape, but there's a lot of risks if you go down while holding a tape. Okay. Cursed tapes can now be placed in any TV other than the one they were retrieved from. Interesting. Wow. Taking a cursed tape is now a strategic choice you will need to make. The protection it offers may be beneficial for now, but it is much more punishing if you're caught carrying one. You want to plan carefully and get rid of your tape if you fear the Onryo may be on her way. This is interesting. Demanifestation. We have also made a few adjustments to the Onryo's demanifested state. Onryo can no longer be stunned while demanifested. Chases are prevented when demanifesting, making it more difficult to keep track of the Onryo's position, and demanifesting now removes bloodlust, similar to other killers' powers. Add-ons. Lastly, we've done a balancing pass on Onryo's add-ons, bringing her highest and lowest performing add-ons closer in line with the rest of the options. Oh, so no details on that. Just gonna find out later. So interesting. So the most common tactic is slugging and then having people get condemned when they heal one another, right? So I would assume that that one has been changed just to discourage that play strategy, but we'll find out when the full thing is released. Hook grabs. We've all been in that situation before. A survivor runs towards their hooked friend, but the killer is nearby, so you both play a thrilling game of unhooked chicken. The survivor attempts to trick the killer into swinging so they don't get grabbed. Meanwhile, the killer tries to predict when the survivor may commit to the unhook to grab them and prevent the save. Beyond this scenario, leading to some very awkward gameplay, this also makes it possible for a face-camping killer to potentially defend the hooked survivor and put a second survivor into the dying state while they're at it. In this next update, we're removing grabs from unhooking survivors. In practice, this means that the awkward mind game when unhooking has been eliminated. Be warned, however, you still are not safe while unhooking. Though you may succeed in rescuing the hooked survivor, the killer will still be able to hit you twice before you can make your escape. In most cases, you will trade your safety for your friends. I think that's fair. I mean, a lot of times people are just coming in to trade, and then they wind up getting grabbed and dropped, and then the killer just stands there in front of the hooked person to secure their kill. Grabs feel bad. I'm glad they're gone. And some killers are much better at it than others, for sure. Brand new part. In recent months, brand new parts have once again become a hot topic for discussion. On their own, they can shave quite a bit of time from a generator, but this is compounded when multiple survivors bring one to a trial. We realize this can be frustrating for killers to face, so we have decided to rework this add-on. When a brand new part is installed, you will face a difficult skill check. Upon succeeding the skill check, the generator's required charges are reduced by 10, and the add-on is consumed. In terms of time saved, the updated brand new part will save 10 seconds compared to the previous 22.5 seconds, as this lowers the required charges for the affected generator. Any regression perks, which apply regression based on the generator's total charges, will have their effectiveness slightly reduced. What? I don't know. It's such an expensive add-on, honestly. We're not reducing the price of it, though, are we? Probably not. Perks. This update will also feature balance changes to many perks for both killers and survivors. There's a lot to cover, so we'll try to keep these brief. As always, the exact details are subject to change following feedback from the upcoming public test build. So it sounds like all this is going to be in the test build. Wow, this is going to be a big day tomorrow. Killer perks. Coup de grace. Activating when generators are powered means this perk can only activate up to 5 times per match. Extended lunges can surely make a difference, but it's difficult to benefit from this perk when they're so limited. To help it come into play more often, Coup de grace will now gain 2 tokens whenever a generator is powered. Was 1. Interesting. Claustrophobia. This perk also activates when a generator is powered. Since it only blocks vault locations within 32 meters of the completed generator, it's very likely that this perk won't come into play unless you happen to be chasing the survivor nearby. We're removing the change effect from claustrophobia, so that's why I had some games where all the vaults were closed. Survivors want to react quickly and find a pallet instead of a window. That's why that was bugged, because they were testing this claustrophobia change already. I reported it and said, why is my vault halfway across the map being closed off with claustrophobia? That's why, because they were testing this. Interesting. Hangman's Trick. Hangman's Trick finds itself in a tricky spot. Its range is fairly small, given that hooks are very common. However, increasing the range any further would cause it to reveal auras across the entire map. Hangman's Trick will become Scourge Hook Hangman's Trick. This perk now reveals the auras of survivors within 10 meters of a Scourge Hook whenever a survivor is being carried. Interesting. Territorial Imperative. Territorial Imperative's short aura reading duration can make it easy to miss. I would agree with that. Add on to that the fairly large distance requirement, and it quickly becomes very tricky to use effectively. We have increased the duration of the aura reveal to up to 6 seconds instead of 3. We have also lowered the distance the killer must be from the basement entrance to 24 meters instead of 32 meters. Give survivors an opportunity to sneak in for a rescue. We have increased the cooldown of Territorial Imperative to 45 seconds. Remember Me. This perk can help turn a match around towards the end, but it currently is not as effective as we'd like. Each time your obsession loses a health state, you gain 1 token. Each token increases the opening time of the exit gates by 6 seconds, up to a maximum of 24 seconds. Yeah, it was 4 seconds per token, up to a maximum of 16 seconds. Aha! And obviously that doesn't that doesn't apply to the obsession opening the gate, right? Just everybody else. So watch out, obsession. You're gonna get tunneled out. Hex Crown Control. Having a window block behind a survivor after they vault it can come in handy in certain circumstances, but in many cases the survivor can simply outlast the entity blocker. This doesn't create much pressure on the survivors to find and cleanse the Hex Totem. We're increasing the duration of entity blockers caused by Hex Crowd Control to 60 seconds. Was 14 seconds. Oh my gosh. Survivors will want to find and cleanse the associated Hex Totem before it's too late. A minute! Oh my gosh, the vault is blocked for a minute. Trail of Torment. The Trail of Torment allows the killer to hide their terror radius and sneak up on survivors. Since it disables the next time a survivor loses a health state, there often isn't much pressure on the survivors to venture over and stop the generator from regressing. To make this perk more threatening, Trail of Torment will now only deactivate when the affected generator stopped regressing, not when a health state is lost. Oh, okay. Survivor perks. Prove thyself. This perk grants a repair speed bonus for each survivor within a small range, allowing survivors to negate the penalty for working on a generator simultaneously. Though it's just as efficient to work on separated generators, there's still tremendous value in being able to finish a specific generator very quickly through co-op repairs. To bring this perk in line with other options, we're reducing the repair speed bonus to 10% per nearby survivor instead of 15%. We have also removed the blood point bonus for co-op repairs. Oh man, I know a lot of people who are running that right now during the event to get all of those bonus points. Blast Mine. A few things are more crushing than installing Blast Mine on a generator, only for the killer to ignore it for so long as your trap expires. For so long that your trap expires. We have increased the duration of Blast Mine to 2 minutes, up from 45 seconds. Wow. So many times I would have my teammates going, just kick the generator, killer, kick the generator, because they're trying to get their stuns in. So funny. 2 minutes, wow. Wiretap. Wiretap is in a similar position to Blast Mine, but we also wanted to take the opportunity to standardize how these sort of perks work. We have increased the duration of Wiretap to 2 minutes, up from 80 seconds, and we have normalized the activation requirements and text descriptions between Blast Mine and Wiretap, meaning Wiretap will now activate after 50% worth of generator repairs instead of 33%. I wonder if people will be running both. Saboteur. The hook-breaking heroes out there will know that even a fraction of a second can make a difference between sabotaging the hook and getting hit. When you swing in for the save, you want to get the job done as quickly as possible. Oh boy. We've reduced the time it takes to sabotage a hook without a toolbox to 2.3 seconds. We have adjusted the cooldown for the perk to 60 seconds. Wait a minute, what? So tier 1 and 2 can be used more frequently. Okay, so it only affects tier 1 and 2. Gotcha. Wow, those microseconds become critical when it means the difference between getting smacked and dropping a hook. I like it. Clairvoyance. Aura reading can be handy, but there's only so many totems to go around. Clairvoyance will now activate upon blessing a totem in addition to cleansing. Interesting. Breakout. Breakout helps you save a friend by putting yourself in harm's way. With the spacing between hooks, it can be very difficult for a survivor to wiggle out before getting hooked. But we don't want this to be too common. We found that it wasn't coming into play too often. Breakout now increases the wiggle speed of the carried survivor by 25% instead of 20%. However, to make this more risky, Breakout now activates within a 5-meter range and 6-meter range. Interesting. Buckle up. You can't always be guaranteed that the killer will leave a survivor on the ground in the first place, so when a perk like Buckle Up comes into play, we want to make sure that it's impactful. We have revisited this perk and given it a new effect. Upon healing a survivor from the dying state, both you and the healed survivor gain endurance for 10 seconds. Interesting. Wow, a lot of changes coming through here. Smash Hit. When it comes to exhaustion perks, Smash Hit isn't all too popular. Stunning the killer with a pallet is sometimes easier said than done. To make Smash Hit a more interesting choice, we have reduced the duration of the exhaustion effect to 20 seconds instead of 40 seconds. Wow, I really like that they've put so many changes in here to make people try new things. Spine Chill. Before the visual terror radius was introduced, Spine Chill was often used by deaf and hard of hearing players to give themselves some sort of indication of the killer's terror radius. When Spine Chill was reworked, we made sure to keep this element unchanged until a proper accessibility setting could be introduced. Now that the visual terror radius is available, we're removing the terror radius visualization aspect of this perk. I think that's fair. Killer tweaks. Keeping up our recent efforts to regularly review and tweak various killers and their add-ons, we have a small set of adjustments making their way to this update as well. As a reminder, These are meant to be minor changes and do not replace full-scale killer updates. The Executioner. The Executioner has a built-in mechanic to prevent him from camping a survivor in one of his cages. If he comes within 5 meters of a cage, it will disappear and reappear elsewhere on the map. This range is fairly small, which means the killer can stay nearby and wait for a survivor to move in for the save. To make this mechanic a little more effective, we're increasing the range to 10 meters. Okay. The Spirit. We have a number of add-on changes in store for the Spirit. Oh boy. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Mother Daughter Ring. This add-on, which increases the Spirit's movement speed while using Yamaoka's Haunting, is currently far stronger than we'd like. To bring it closer in line with the other add-ons, we have reduced the movement speed bonus to 25% from 40%. Dried Cherry Blossom. This add-on triggers Killer Instinct on survivors who come within 4 meters of the Spirit's husk while she is in Yamaoka's Haunting. Any information about a survivor's location is crucial while Spirit is using her power, and given its fairly large range, this add-on has been overperforming. We have reduced the Killer Instinct range of Dried Cherry Blossom to 3 meters, down from 4 meters. Yamaoka's Amulet, Shiawase Amulet, and Kion Talisman. Each of these add-ons increase the duration of Yamaoka's Haunting. However, since the Spirit's power recharges over a set time regardless of duration, this also meant these add-ons had a hidden secondary effect of making her power recharge faster. These add-ons will no longer cause Yamaoka's Haunting to recharge faster. The respective duration increases remain unchanged. The Origami Crane. Since the add-ons above no longer increase recovery rate, we wanted to ensure that options were available if you want your power to recover faster. The Origami Crane now increases the recovery rate of Haunting by 20% instead of 10%. The Rusty Flute. Likewise, Rusty Flute is also receiving an increase in light of the changes above. Rusty Flute now increases recovery rate by 40% instead of 25%. The Hag. The Hag is also receiving a few add-on adjustments in this update. The Waterlogged Shoe. Waterlogged Shoe removes the Hag's ability to teleport to her phantasm traps, but slows nearby survivors while providing the Hag with a permanent speed boost. This add-on isn't doing as well as we'd like, so we've increased the movement speed boost to 7.5%, was 4.5%. Interesting, I'd like to try that one out. Mint Rag. This add-on allows the Hag to teleport to any trap in the trial, even if they haven't been triggered, but with a 15-second cooldown. This can allow for some interesting mind games, but the long cooldown can make it very punishing if you use it at the wrong time. So we've reduced the teleport cooldown to 10 seconds. Half Eggshell and Cracked Turtle Egg. These add-ons increase the duration of triggered phantasm traps, allowing her more time to get in range to teleport and a longer window to teleport and chase. Both are underperforming at the moment, so we're giving them a slight increase. I used the Turtle Egg. That's interesting. Half Eggshell now increases Phantasm Trap duration by 45%, was 30%, and Cracked Turtle Egg now increases by 55%, was 35%. Wow, I like that. Cold Wind Farm Balance Update. As announced during this year's anniversary broadcast, we're planning to regularly revisit and rebalance existing maps. First up on our to-do list for this year, the Fractured Cowshed and the Rancid Abattoir. For Fractured Cowshed, we found this map leaned too heavily in favor of survivors. It is a really big map. There were a few causes for this. First, the most useful tiles form a big ring around the entire map. This made it very easy for survivors to run from one pallet to another with very little risk of being caught in between. Second, the barn itself was a fairly strong setup for survivors, allowing them to waste quite a bit of the killer's time before leaving. Third, the center of the map is mostly empty, featuring only corn. Once any generators in the corn are completed, the killer has to patrol in a big circle around the entire map to find survivors, making it very time-consuming. To remedy this, we have made significant layout changes to the map, breaking up the strong outer ring of these tiles in the process. Additionally, we've made some adjustments to the layout of the barn itself, which is now slightly closer to the middle of the map to reduce its strength. Cool. As for the Rancid Abattoir, depending on how the map generated, the slaughterhouse could feature strong setups for survivors, allowing them to waste a good amount of the killer's time. Additionally, the large freezer in the center of the building featured a single entrance and nothing important to gameplay. For example, no pallets or windows, leaving little reason for anyone to explore it. We've updated the layout of the slaughterhouse to make stronger setups less effective, and we also opened up the wall in the back of the freezer to allow players to navigate it more easily. Cool. Across the entire realm, you'll notice updated corn tiles with added detail, as well as edge tiles along each of the map's outer fences. And with that, we have reached the end of the developer update. All the changes in this post will be available to test on the public test build starting later this week. We look forward to reading through your thoughts once you've had the opportunity to try them out. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. I think it's tomorrow, later this week. I think the PTB is tomorrow with Nicolas Cage and all of these changes. I thought it was just going to be Nicolas Cage. So let me know, what do you think about all this stuff? Let me know in the comments below. This is the part where you type about, oh my gosh, with every update, this game gets more killer-sided, or oh my gosh, with every update, this game gets more survivor-sided. Now's the time for all of that. Type in your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to hear it. Any ideas that you have of combinations with any of these perk changes, I would love to hear them too. So let me know. But as always, I appreciate the time that you spend here with me on my channel. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life